Hey everybody, super fun new AllEars video today.
We are about to tour World Showcase in EPCOT.
Yes, and we're gonna figure out which pavilion is the best of the best. There are 11 countries pavilions in World Showcase. Some of them are a lot better than others. Where should you spend your time? We're gonna check out everything that all the pavilions have to offer, and we're gonna be scoring them along the way to find out which is the best.
I already know my favorite pavilion.
Me too, but I'm not telling you.
Refreshment Outpost.
Oh, he loves the Dole Whip. The first pavilion you walk into if you're going left in EPCOT, kind of a hot debate, left or right. Typically, I prefer left.
Okay, this is my argument about right.
Okay,
all right?
I'd love to hear
and
it.
It's only based on the fact that people say beer before liquor never been sicker. So
Fair
people
enough.
say don't start with beer in Canada, start with margaritas in Mexico.
Yeah.
Which is that, if that's what you want to start with, you start with it.
Well, you know where I start?
Geo 82.
No, I start in Morocco.
Because you take
I take the boat, and then I move away from France. So everybody who's coming into World Showcase from France is coming in at France and going away from me.
That is,
and
this
everybody
is the
who's
answer.
coming in at Mexico are very far from Morocco. Same for Canada. Whereas Morocco, I'm moving out of the crowds for the entire day.
Genius. The only thing is right now.
The boat goes to Germany.
Exactly. Because
So I would
the
start in
dock is
Germany.
switched,
I'd start in Germany and I'd go right.
Perfect.
But boat is the trick. That's where you
Boat
start.
is-
You start
that
at the
is
boat.
the right answer.
But we're starting in Mexico today to take an easy loop around. And the first spot that you come to in Mexico is La Cantina de San Angel. This is a quick service spot. It is right on the water. It's gonna have a lot of kind of classic Mexican food, tacos, nachos, churros. It's kind of middle of the road. It is not a standout restaurant. It is not like bad. I get this spot a lot when I don't know what I want or I have picky eaters. They've just got some like classic crowd pleasers here, rice bowls and things like that, and beautiful shady seating. Another pro tip that Breedlove uses a lot is that you can get your food here, and before it opens, you can head over to, let's show. Great idea.
Inside here, you have air conditioning. Nobody knows about it. You'll literally be by yourself.
So this is a table service restaurant in the afternoon. It opens later than most other restaurants. And while it's not open, as you can see, this additional seating is available. And I mean, we keep telling people about this and they do not come in here.
This is La Hacienda de San Angel.
Yep.
It opens in the afternoon. There's a great fireworks dining experience that you can have here. But during the day, you can buy your food from La Cantina de San Angel.
Or Choza de Margarita.
Or Choza de Margarita, or frankly,
Anywhere.
Frankly, if
A
you ask
festival
nicely.
booth? Imagine.
You could,
festival from the
booth.
Mexico festival
Yeah,
booth and coming in
bring it
here.
The best part though, amazing, clean,
Bathrooms. that
private
no one's using.
bathrooms.
Yeah.
This is why I
This is like, come in here. That's all we're saying. But the reason I come here, the bathrooms.
Yeah, exactly.
But most of the Mexico pavilion is going to be inside this beautiful pyramid, which we're going to head in and check out everything in there because it's pretty magical and fun. When you first enter the inside of the Mexico Pavilion, you will walk into an exhibit. This is something that's awesome about World Showcase is a lot of the pavilions have different exhibits, the cultures they represent. And in this pavilion, it is currently the Remember Me Coco and Dia de los Muertos exhibit. So it is a combination of Coco and traditional Dia de los Muertos art. But once you get through the exhibit, you head out into the Plaza de los Amigos, which is an inside-outside building. It is a whole interior air-conditioned space that looks like you were outside at a night market in Mexico. And this is the meat of the pavilion. The most stuff for the Mexico Pavilion is in here. So if you walk right by without going in the pyramid, you will miss out on some of this stuff. Right here, to my right as we enter, is probably the main attraction of the Mexico Pavilion for most people.
What is it?
La Cava del Tequila.
Neil Patrick Harris has a permanent table here.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah.
So La Cava del Tequila de San Angel Inn is a tequila bar. It is tucked away in the side here. There are a few tables, but not many, so it is not very crowded in there when you're sitting. But as you can see with this line already forming 15 minutes prior to open, they have very high-end, delicious tequilas. They only serve like queso, guac, and salsa with chips. That's the only food, but otherwise it is cocktails and margaritas, and they are incredible, and the bartenders are incredible, and you can kind of ask them to help you pick. It is just one of the best bar experiences in Disney World, and that's why it is so popular. In the middle of the room is this big market with authentic Mexican souvenirs, and there's some stuff that is, this is a La Cava del Tequila glass, but it's mostly authentic Mexican souvenirs that you can find all through this market. Now, are they going to be, as authentic or priced as well as you might find if you were in actual Mexico? Probably not, but if you're traveling World Showcase, it's cool that you're not just getting Disney-fied merchandise, you can also get authentic Mexican merchandise. This spot is also where you might see Mariachi Cobre perform. We'll point out another spot for them. Mariachi Cobre is a very famous mariachi band that performs daily here at EPCOT. It is one of my favorite live shows to see because it is such a spectacular show. But we're gonna head in here to La Tienda Encantada, which is another merchandise shop. This is where you're gonna find your Disney-fied merchandise, which obviously there's a place for, particularly if you're a Coco fan like me, because they always have Coco merch for sale in here, including these cute Coco ears. As we're headed onto the ride in this pavilion, this is one of the pavilions that does have a ride. Not many do, but this is one of them. We're going to swing into La Princesa de Cristal, which is an Arribas Brothers shop. These are the Disney crystal carvers, and we're very lucky at the time we walk in because Bert here is working on some crystals. What if I just bought a tiara? Grand Fiesta Tour is one of 3 rides in World Showcase. A couple of the pavilions have shows and things that are technically attractions, but this is one of the only true rides. It is a little tour through Mexico with the 3 caballeros, Jose, Panchito, and Donald. Now, Donald has gone missing. He's on a whirlwind adventure through Mexico, as does happen. And Panchito and Jose are looking for him. So that's the plot of the ride. It's a little boat ride. It's family friendly, and it typically has very short waits. It's in the air conditioning, and you would miss it if you just walked right by the Mexico Pavilion. So make sure you stop in here and grab this one. We're probably going to wait 3 minutes for this, and that's all. And then we get to go on a little boat ride. So that's Grand Fiesta Tour, and then the final thing located inside the Mexico Pavilion is San Angelin Restaurant. This one is the inside-outside restaurant, Mexican restaurant with bigger plates. It's kind of in the middle of the road. Pretty good Mexican food, but nothing again, legendary, but beautiful atmosphere. I mean, this is where you dine, which is pretty cool. One thing to note, the only restrooms in the entire Mexico Pavilion are located inside this restaurant. Now, we've already been in the dining room for this spot, but La Hacienda de San Angel is that table service that we were in the dining room earlier. This is the other Mexican spot. They do have that fireworks package and some tasty Mexican eats. Honestly, this one and the one inside are kind of about on the same level. I would say this one's a little bit better. The character meet and greet here in Mexico is a favorite of mine because you can meet Donald. 3 caballeros Donald in his sombrero and his poncho, and he looks so good and dapper. Pay attention, you guys, in videos. Yeah. Sage literally wears rings with his wife and daughter's names from ring carvers right here. And when
so cool.
They're really cool, and they're also not crazy expensive. They're customized. This is also where Mariachi Cobre performs when they're outside. They sometimes perform in the pyramid. They sometimes perform right here. That's Mexico, so we got to give it our rating. So in our food and beverage category, we're gonna give this spot a 3.5.
Well, you wanted to go 3.
I did, but we're pumping it up.
Yeah.
I wanted to go 3 because the restaurants here aren't standout, but the drinks are.
And I literally live on the chips and guacamole. I anticipate sitting in the La Hacienda dining room and eating the La Cantina chips and guac so much that I get giddy when I walk in, and I'm like, well, I've got to do my tasks first in the old future world before I can start with World Showcase and get to Mexico.
That's where that half point comes from.
Yeah. Oh,
things to do category, which is attractions, entertainment, shopping. We have gone a 4 for this one.
Great.
They do have a ride, which is not something most pavilions can say.
Also, entertainment.
Yeah, great entertainment here with Mariachi Cobre. You can meet Donald. It's just, and the shopping is great too. Mm-hmm. Lots of stores, so good all around. It might be a 4.5. Maybe we bump it to 4.5.
I think that's nice. I mean, I do love the fact that you can go indoors. It's air conditioned.
We're bumping to 4.5.
You have shops indoors. You have restaurants indoors. You have things to do inside.
There's a lot.
Which is very rare for World Showcase.
True. Our vibe is going to be, we're going to do a 4 on vibe, because the vibe here, it's a beautiful pavilion. It's gorgeous. And people love the Mexico Pavilion. However, it's a really big pinch point, and it does get very crowded, and it's the entrance to World Showcase, so it tends to be crowded all day. So that's why we're knocking a point off for it. So a 4 on vibe, pretty good score here for this pavilion, because what is that? That's 4 plus 4.5 plus 3.5. which
See,
is...
I just said the number. I had put it in later. It's
12?
stars.
Maybe? It might be 12.
Let me get my calendar. Welcome to the Norway Pavilion. It's behind some construction walls right now. There's a refurbishment going on. So the first thing that you'll encounter as you transition from Mexico to Norway is Royal Summer House. This is where you can meet Anna and Elsa. If you don't know who they are, then why are you even watching this video? Exactly. They're, of course, the stars of Disney's Frozen. And this is a great place to meet them. The next thing that we'll get to is the Wandering Reindeer. This is the exit to the Anna and Elsa meet and greet, and this is also where you can meet a PhotoPass photographer, and they have a very cool little set here where you can take a family photo. The next thing you'll encounter is a really beautiful restroom here in Norway. This is a place that we recommend stopping if you need to use that. Over here is the Stave Church. This is a recreation of something typical that you'll find throughout Norway. And when you go inside, you'll see the Gods and Vikings exhibit that's very impressive. Next up, you'll encounter Kringla Bakery. This is where you can get the iconic school bread. Akershus is a character dining experience, and it's all princesses, just like at Cinderella's royal table. This one is inside a recreation of a Norwegian castle, and it is served all you care to enjoy, which Cinderella's royal table is not. But this is the character dining, the princess character dining experience that I prefer. I like this more than Cinderella's royal table. I think you get more character interaction. You definitely get more food.
You get more food, and I love the food here.
Me too. Me too. And there is a wonderful network of stores. They look like separate little houses almost, but they're all called the Fjording. The first building that you'll encounter is a little boutique for a Norwegian fragrance designer.
Hey, Rita.
Yes.
Do you need some glögg?
I've never had that. What is it?
Winter beverage.
Oh, it's a winter
It's non-alcoholic.
beverage? It's a non-alcoholic
This seems
winter
like the kind of
beverage
thing
in a
that
wine bottle?
I actually could not eat, and maybe you could drink. Oh, I've got some. Well, unfortunately, we need glögg cups.
Oh.
Because it's
maybe
traditionally served
they
in glögg
sell
cups
them.
with raisins and almonds.
In the cup?
Grandpa Lundquist glögg is non-alcoholic.
I think the Christmas soda might be a little more our speed.
Are you Grandpa Lundquist glögg?
I am.
If there's anyone who's Norwegian watching this, please tell me more.
Yeah, this is a very good. I'm sure this is traditional and popular. I said, is this a toy? Like, do kids play with this? And they said, no. This is something that business people put on their desk. And I said, is it like those balls that you go like that, the silver ones that clack back and forth? And they said, yes, exactly. So this is not to be. And then I looked on the packaging, and it actually says it is not a toy. This is also an amazing Helly Hansen boutique in the back. It's a pretty pricey brand from Norway. So that's going to be $2.95. So really a great value. And of course, if you are looking for Frozen merchandise, this is the exit of the ride. So you are walking right into Elsa and Anna Paradise. Frozen Ever After is an overlay on an existing ride called Maelstrom. Exact same ride vehicle, exact same track. It's a boat. It does go backwards, but instead of trolls, a three-headed troll sending you backwards in your boat, you have Elsa, who is very fluidly waving her arms for you to move. We have a lightning lane reservation for Frozen Ever After.
All right, our Norway rating. For the food and beverage category, we've decided to go 3.5. And that's because both of the spots here, Akershus and Kringla, are really good, but there's no quick service.
Yeah.
So you're really just getting like a dessert grab and go, or you have to do a full character table service. Expensive meal. Even though they're great, there's not a ton of options. Our things to do rating is going to be 4 because though there's actually not a ton to do here. There's some shopping. There's the Stave Church, which is cool. But there's also Meet Anna and Elsa and the Frozen ride, and those are so good.
They're so good.
They're so popular that it just brings it up into the higher end of our scale. And then on Vibe, we're also going 4. And this is because this pavilion is gorgeous with so much detail. It is so much fun to wander. And
An amazing bathroom.
Amazing bathrooms.
Like
I went
so
in there and
clean,
blew my nose.
new. It's
My
not the best bathroom in
Second
World
favorite
Showcase.
in World Showcase. I was about to say that.
It's not the best.
We'll reveal, don't worry. We're not
Exactly.
going to gatekeep this. The thing that we're knocking it again, similar to Mexico, is just the way crowds work in this pavilion. Because of Frozen being so popular, it's just a huge crowd of people in the middle of the pavilion. And crowd flow just isn't the best. And when we're commenting on crowds, we're talking about the way crowds work, not like, oh, on a crowded day, this is bad. Like, this is kind of just a little rough all the time. Whereas some pavilions, crowd flow works really great. So that's our rating for Frozen, which in total is 11.5. I did the math in advance.
Okay. That's 11.5.
11.5.
So a little less than Mexico.
Little less than Mexico.
Might not have expected that, but
No.
I do think
I expected it.
the sum of all the parts is that
Revealing.
it is. Yeah,
It's revealing. Our next stop is going to be China. Ni hao. We are headed here into China. As you'll see a couple times, we are passing the festival booths. These are not year-round, and not every pavilion has them, but keep your eyes peeled. The China Pavilion is another gorgeous pavilion, and this is one that I think goes a little underappreciated, and I'll show you why. But to start, we are out here kind of on the main path of the pavilion, where you'll find good fortune gifts. This is a fun spot because you can play with the puppets, put on the straw hats. He's gone instead to this incredible kimono.
I would like this. I'm not kidding. My mom would love this.
And if you're stopping on Drink Around the World, you will likely head to Joy of Tea. This is a little kiosk right at the front of the land that has specialty cocktails, teas and bottled drinks, beer, and they have egg rolls, which are a great thing for soaking up some of the alcohol you're drinking as you drink around the world. They do have, the teas are non-alcoholic, and that lychee bubble tea might be happening for me. Actually, that sounds really good. Now, as you head into the China Pavilion, your eye's going to be immediately drawn to the Wonders of China building, which is this beautiful recreation of a Chinese temple. And as you can see, it's absolutely gorgeous, super intricate. I think easy not to notice how absolutely beautiful this pavilion is as you just stay on the main path. That's why my main tip for World Showcase is make sure to wander into the pavilions, keep your head on a swivel, and look around. China, for instance, has these beautiful Chinese gardens. A lot of the pavilions have gardens that are supposed to be recreations of the way gardening is done in the countries that they represent. And you can even sometimes find Mulan meeting over here. But Mulan also sometimes meets inside this building. It's a pretty regular place to find her. It doesn't typically have a long line because some people do not notice that on the map. This is one of those perfect acoustic rooms. So if you stand on these two poles, you can hear the bounce of the acoustics really well. And then this is the waiting area for Wonders of China, which is a circle vision film. Circle vision is a screen that goes 360 degrees around the whole room. You stand to watch it, and it's a very immersive movie, or the way circle vision is. This one is a little dated, could use an update. And then if we head this way, we head into a very cool exhibit. We love the exhibits. This is the Shanghai Disney exhibit, which shows you upcoming and current attractions and offerings at Shanghai Disney, which is the only international park that I haven't been to. So this is kind of the way that I live vicariously. Heading back outside, again, this is another pavilion that's not going to have a restroom. Your nearest one is going to be really in either pavilion on either side. The Norway one is a little bit closer. Germany is a bit further of a walk and not as good of a bathroom. So if you're in China and need a bathroom, head to the Norway bathroom. 2 dining locations here. We have 9 Dragons. This is one of the less popular table service restaurants in Disney World because people a lot of times compare it to any standard Americanized Chinese restaurant that you can find in your hometown, but with higher prices. It's not one of the best restaurants in World Showcase. That said, I think it gets a bit of a bad rep, and I've never had a bad experience. So if you're craving Asian food or you can't get a reservation at many places, check out 9 Dragons, where it's typically pretty easy to get a seat. Next door, Lotus Blossom Cafe is the quick service restaurant. This is another one that is considered pretty basic when it comes to, like, it's kind of like mall Asian food, mall Chinese food. It's not bad, it's just not good. So this is actually one that I go to when I am feeling picky, when I just want something filling and fast. And my pro tip here is I love to get my little, pot stickers or egg rolls or orange chicken. And then when I get a seat, the thing that I make sure to do is that whether I sit in this dining room or on the other side, I sit facing into the pavilion. And if you suspend your disbelief a bit, you can really feel like you're sitting in the streets of a Chinese city in a beautiful area, but with lower crowds than you would find in the streets of a Chinese city, particularly on this side where you look out towards the back of the pavilion, which has just gorgeous deep depth of detail, and the way it's designed is so beautiful. And it took me many years to notice that. Coming to Disney, I didn't notice this until my brother and I came and had an EPCOT day that was all about World Showcase. now. It's also typically not very crowded back here because a lot of people don't make the turn to walk back in here. But we'll pop into this store on our way back up. This is the House of Good Fortune on our left. It stretches all the way to the back. But a couple little like street stalls with different merchandise. And then what I love are all these styled balconies that look like people actually live in them, climbing up the walls, things that look like actual retail stores on the floor. Just beautiful theming. And the detail of some of these archways and rooftops is just, I think, absolutely stunning. The fun thing that I like to do in the China Pavilion is similar to the other pavilions we've seen. You can find a lot of imported merchandise and special imported chips, candy, things that you cannot find elsewhere. And there are typically some really interesting chip flavors. Texas grilled barbecue flavor. That's actually not that interesting. Szechuan peppercorn chicken Doritos. Sea salt black pepper. Obviously a little pricier than your typical bag of Lay's. And that's kind of everything in the China Pavilion. So this is a less popular one, and our rating is going to kind of reflect that. So from a food and beverage standpoint, we've decided to go 2.5. We do actually have a variety of stops that you can go for food and beverage. And none of it is bad, it's just not great. But one thing that we really like about it is you can get into Lotus Blossom Cafe and even get a table at Nine Dragons even when it's super busy. Things to do, it's gonna be even lower than that. We're gonna give it a 2. There aren't really any like entertainment performances here most of the year. You can meet Mulan sometimes, which is cool.
There used to be acrobats.
There used to be acrobats, so they have not returned. And then Wonders of China is my least favorite World Showcase little movie, and I think definitely skippable. So it's definitely gonna be a 2. There's stuff to do, but it's just not great stuff. And then on vibe, this is where it's gonna get some high points. We decided to go with 3.5 because I think this is one of the more beautiful pavilions. I think it's understated how beautiful and well-designed and detail-oriented this pavilion is. And if you don't think to look around because the pavilion doesn't have a lot of draws otherwise, you certainly miss that. It is a gorgeous pavilion. That said, no bathrooms. You have to walk all the way back to the other side of Norway for bathrooms. But on the other hand, another plus for it is that because there's not a lot of draws to the pavilion, it is never very crowded. So 4 there for a total score of 8.
Special mention for Refreshment Outpost. I was joking at the beginning that this was my favorite pavilion. It's not officially a pavilion, but it is a Coca-Cola sponsored refreshment outpost. It's literally what it's called. And this is a spot while you're walking around World Showcase that you can get yourself some Dole Whip. Right now they're featuring Dole Whip pineapple and Dole Whip watermelon, either individually or as a swirl. They change the flavors up, usually with the festivals, and honestly, I love this place. Next up, we have Germany, the Germany Pavilion. Do you see the wishing well over there? That is where you can meet Snow White. On the left-hand side, we have Caramel Couche. This is where you can buy your handcrafted caramel treats, brought to you by Werther's Original. So this will be the home of your Werther's popcorn, your caramel apples, and also your baked goods. This is a second entrance that takes you straight to a grab and go section. Caramel Couche does offer mobile order, so take advantage of that. This is the German Christmas store. It is Christmas here year round. This is the home of the famous pickle ornament, a tradition in Germany. And here is one. Look at that. And that is a glorious sight here in the Germany Pavilion. The keg is being wheeled into Summerfest. Speaking of beer, Steinhaus is where you can purchase your beer steins. You can also get EPCOT branded merchandise for the pavilion. Wine Keller is, it's a wine cellar, it's a bar. This is where you can walk up, get in line, and purchase a beverage by the glass. Or if you want to buy an entire bottle of something they serve here, you can do that as well. This is something that would be called iconic by Disney Food Blog. Our friends at Disney Food Blog love the pumpkin spice Mozart chocolate liqueur. And this is something you can purchase for $39 here at Wine Keller and bring it home with you. Kunstarbeit in Cristal is the Arribas Brothers location in the Germany Pavilion. This is the only place you can purchase the Swarovski Crystal Spaceship Earth, which is $79,000. Totally worth it. Beer Garden is a table service restaurant. It's a buffet. And these are some of the offerings: seasonal salads, roasted chicken, traditional sausages, sauerkraut, potatoes, spätzle, schnitzel. This is not a character meal. However, they do have a traditional German Oompa band that performs, and they're really good, and it's really, really fun. And the environment is so immersive, it really feels like you are in Germany. Back here, there's this big mural, and I always like to come back here and pay my respects. If you knock on it, you can feel that it's hollow. It's not a solid, cement wall. It is, it's a little facade, and that is because this was to be the entrance for the Rhine River Cruise, a ride that was originally planned to come to this pavilion, and that never happened. Summerfest is a quick service window that offers mobile order if you like, or you can get in line here and you pick it up right here. It's kind of hidden. If you come enjoy this, you'll also be able to appreciate the mural. Volkskunst says it has clocks and crafts, and they actually do have clocks. They have cuckoo clocks, real German cuckoo clocks in here. Das Kaufhaus, also a great place to get beer. You can see people are lining up here for it. And as if that wasn't enough beer, there's also beer and Brezeln, which is pretzels and beer cart. People are lined up out here too. And as if that wasn't enough, Arribas Brothers Glaskunst out here is also an Arribas Brothers outlet that has cool glass crafts that you can actually take part in. And last but not least, this is the German train town that is so beloved by so many. They actually changed the little banners in the town to coordinate with the current festival in EPCOT. And let me just tell you, things happen in this town. And not all of them are good. And I'm not saying any more. You'll have to look it up for yourself. Smorgasbord, that restaurant you really like.
Beer Garden.
Oh, Beer Garden. It has a smorgasbord.
We're giving the Germany food a 3.5 because I do really love Beer Garden. I think it's a great restaurant. And there's some good beer and, snack stands here. We're pulling it up a bit for caramel kuche.
I called it caramel couche.
Sorry.
I think you can.
I think that I'm saying it wrong also.
You put a lot of syllables in there.
Caramel kuche. We're going 3.5 here because it's still missing a quick service. It's not like it's well-known, beloved food here.
But you told me you love Beer Garden.
I do love Beer Garden.
And so you have a lot of happy memories there.
It is a nostalgic one for me. My family used to go a lot. Things you can do, we're leaning 1.5 on this.
Yes.
Because there's nothing you can do here except shop.
Well, the Rhine River Cruise never came to be.
It never came to be. So
the only activity you really have is to knock on that hollow wall.
and think about what it would have been like.
Exactly.
And then overall pavilion vibe, aesthetics, how it feels there, we're giving it a 3.5.
Yes.
It's a very pretty pavilion.
Beautiful.
But it doesn't have as much hangout ability as some of the other ones.
That's right.
There is seating, but it tends to always be full.
You can hang out and watch the cuckoo clock.
You can, which I do enjoy.
Is it a cuckoo clock? No, that one's
it's
a German.
Clock.
Is it cuckoo? The one that when the children come
I'm
and
pretty
dance?
sure that's still called a cuckoo clock.
All right, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
We did see cuckoo clocks.
You can also go look at cuckoo clocks in the cuckoo clock store.
Yes.
Another reason the shopping's good. Anyway, our total score for Germany is going to be 9.
That's a good score. Germany's a great pavilion.
Yeah. And with that, we find ourselves in Italia. Italy is a beautiful pavilion. It's a lot of sunlight, not a lot of seating, but pretty incredible dining. So let's take a look at everything there's to offer. Lots of details as you look around, but it's very sunny. The first thing you'll come across is Il Bel Cristallo. Very cool shop. This is going to be your imported goods shop. Italy merchandise, some Disney things, but some fragrances, some purses, and then the coolest part of the store, even if you're not shopping, you should head to the back because that is where the mask store is. And it is these incredibly intricate Venetian masks that are so, so cool and worth looking at. We're gonna kind of treat this one like a little U. We're gonna walk in on the one side and come out on the other. Platform in the middle doesn't typically have anything going on, but sometimes during the EPCOT festivals, there will be a bit of entertainment. You can find almost every day Sergio the Mime, who performs and interacts with kids and adults alike. It's very fun. Right at the front of the pavilion, if you hear loud Italian music playing, keep your eyes peeled for Sergio. Our first restaurant we're gonna pass is Tutto Italia and Tutto Gusto Wine Cellar. This is a table service restaurant, Tutto Italia. Pretty awesome food. There is a full review of this spot on the channel now. And then just next door is Tutto Gusto Wine Cellar, which is a walk-in lounge. Don't be fooled by the host stand. You can just ask, you can just go up to the bar or walk in. Really delicious drinks, and there's never a line for this bar because people don't know you can just walk in there. Besides, there's a bit flashier, more famous of a food offering here in the back of the Italy Pavilion, which is Via Napoli. Via Napoli is a pizzeria and a ristorante, and they have meter-long pizzas. They import a lot of very high-quality ingredients, beautiful and airy and light atmosphere, and wonderful service. So a much-loved and often called the best Italian restaurant in Disney World. And if you do not have time for a full sit-down, you can head to the pizza windows. This pavilion covers all of its bases when it comes to food. There's quick service. Now this isn't always open, but you can grab little slices of pizza to go from Pizza Al Taglio, which is a great option. Makes it a little bit easier to have a quicker meal if you're trying to get all of EPCOT in one day. Make sure to stop by the statue of Neptune if you are thinking about pretending to be Lizzie McGuire. Any Italian fountain, you get to pretend to be Lizzie McGuire. I don't make the rules, I just follow them. And the rest of the spots are gonna be important to you if you're looking for a treat or a drink here around the world. Right here is the donkey cart. This is a quick spot where you can grab a couple little gelato items as well as some delicious cocktails. You can see it's pretty popular at this time. And this is why it's called the donkey cart. And that is where most folks stop if they're drinking around the world, but I'm gonna put you on something a little bit better, and that is Enoteca Castello. This is the more fancy wine bar. Tons of Italian wines. You can get pours of just straight limoncello if you wanted to try that. And they are great at making recommendations. So swing in here, and then if you keep walking through the back, you walk into a store that has more of the Disney merchandise. The more Disney themed Italia merchandise. And then we're coming out the back where there's this cute little courtyard. You can see a lot of folks with gelato cups. And why is that, you ask? It's because right here is Gelateria Toscana. This is a gelato spot. Now, the gelato is very good. It's true. It is also quite pricey. And I usually opt for slightly cheaper ice cream when I'm in the parks, but the quality is there. So if gelato sounds like a must for you, just make sure to budget for it. I mean, a small cup here is $8.75. And finally, got our festival booth over there, but we have another little wine cart. This spot has some of the selections from inside Enoteca Castello. So if you're just wanting a quick stop for wine, you can head right here to this little wine cart. Italy, food and beverage, we're going 4.5 here with food and beverage.
You got to.
They even have a quick service option with the pizza window. They have great wine, great cocktails. The donkey cart there's great treats. There's a lot of options for things you can do. Going 2.5 here, there's no ride, there's no show. The shopping is good. There's the masks.
Yes, the masks.
And there is an entertainment option, which brings it up a little higher than like Germany, where you have Sergio the Mime. For overall vibe, we're pretty low on this one. We're leaning 2 because this pavilion is not nice to be in.
It's not inviting.
No, it's like, it is very Italy. It looks like a piazza. It's beautiful, but it is there's very little seating. And it's just like, I don't know. I don't like to hang out in this pavilion. I would rather go next door to sit at a table in the shade than be here.
Yeah.
So total score for Italy is going to be equal to Germany, a 9.
Good for them. Welcome to the American Adventure Pavilion. On the left here, you'll find the Regal Eagle Steakhouse, a Muppet-themed barbecue restaurant that offers mobile order. And we recommend that you always use it because the lines for this restaurant get very long. This is one of those World Showcase restaurants that you can really count on when it's not a festival. If you don't have a festival booth to go to, you can head to Regal Eagle and get a really good meal that will have been well reviewed by either us here at AllEars or by our friends over at Disney Food Blog. Over here to the left of the Regal Eagle restaurant entrance, the Regal Eagle Smokehouse Craft Drafts and Barbecue cocktail bar out here. They have a selection of non-alcoholic and specialty cocktails, as well as draft beer and hard cider. So this is a place people really line up when they're drinking around the world. Now we come to the namesake attraction of the Pavilion, the American Adventure Show. The American Adventure Show utilizes audio animatronics, an embarrassment of riches where audio animatronics are concerned, on hydraulic stages that stack underneath the audience. It was an engineering marvel when it debuted in the 1980s, in 1982 when EPCOT opened, and there's still nothing like it to this day. It's unmatched, and the sheer scale and the artistry and the incredible science and mechanics behind it blow my mind to this day. So take the time, come and watch the American Adventure. Now, as a child of the 80s, nothing was more aspirational, let me tell you, than turning on the Disney Channel and watching the behind the scenes making of American Adventure. Also incredible, and it's still happening to this day, and it still blows me away in the same way. Now we're having a very special experience where we're walking into the rotunda. This is before you enter the theater, and we're getting to catch Voices of Liberty. The American Heritage Gallery is a wonderful way to visit artifacts from American Indians, and a wonderful way to begin our history lesson about America. Right next door to American Adventure, the show, is Art of Disney, the store. And this is where you can purchase your fine art, truly. They have original pieces, prints, wonderful figurines and statuettes. But this is where you can get the good stuff, folks. And just outside the side door of Art of Disney is my favorite attraction in the American Adventure Pavilion. I'm already laughing at my own self. Isn't that fun? That's the restrooms. This is a newer addition. They're big, they're clean, they're new, they're fresh. They're very well maintained. And you can do what you need to do in there, and no one's gonna bother you. If you're looking for some America and EPCOT themed apparel, there's a little kiosk here right in front of Art of Disney that will take care of you. You can buy a hat if you need one. And then right across the way from that is the America Gardens Theater. This is where right now during the Food and Wine Festival, they are featuring the Eat to the Beat concert series, where they have some pretty huge acts like Boys to Men perform here. I saw Starship recently with my dad. That was really, really cool. They sound amazing. This will be used for a Disney on Broadway concert series during the Festival of the Arts. And during Flower and Garden Festival, you can come to the Garden Rocks concert series, which is more centered around classic rock bands. They sell dining packages where you can eat in a restaurant and then come here and get reserved sections of seating. If you're in the American Adventure Pavilion and you think, I want a turkey leg, or I want to have a slush layered with soft serve ice cream, this is the place for you. Fife and Drum. It's a quick service window. It's really just a snack kiosk. Block and Hans, the purveyors of fine American ale. Here you can get your American beer. We've got a beer flight for $13.25. It's a rotating menu of beers, and if you are a beer lover, this is your place. And finally, what's more American than a funnel cake? I mean, this is fair food to the max. It's also something that we just, we take batter and we fry it well and dunk it in sugar. You can add vanilla ice cream for $4 and add chocolate sauce for $2 more. And then bottled water for $4, because we are healthy in America.
Ooh, yes. America. Food and beverage here, we're going 3. This spot does have a few spots, a couple snack stands with like a turkey leg, which is a classic, funnel cake classic. But the main star here is Regal Eagle Smokehouse, which is my favorite barbecue in Disney World. And I'm from North Carolina, so you can trust my barbecue opinion. They have really good barbecue, really great barbecue sauces. And then they have great cocktails at the outside bar. They have incredible banana pudding, house-made pickles. Yeah, this is one of my favorite restaurants in Disney World. Probably my second favorite quick service in Disney World.
Mobile order, lots of indoor seating.
Things to do. We're going pretty high here with 3.5. This land doesn't have a ride, but it does have a show with the American Adventure, which has tons of animatronics. Really cool historic show. Huge chunk of time out of your day. So unless it's a priority for you, you may want to skip it for that reason, but we love it. And it's also a great place to take a nap. And on Vibe, we're actually going 4, and that is partially because of the bathrooms being so good, because bathrooms are more this category than things to do. There's tons of great seating that is shady in many cases. All of that is going to, despite it not being the most like aesthetically exciting pavilion, it is going to push it to a 4. Konnichiwa from Japan, our next pavilion. Right as you walk into the pavilion, you have the shaved ice stand. This is the kakigori cart. They do have kakigori, which is Japanese shaved ice, as well as some sake. So it's a good stop for a sweet treat. It's basically like a really giant, really delicious snow cone. You of course have the giant torii gate in the water, which it's a great photo because you can get it where Spaceship Earth is framed right in the middle of it. Bam! Beautiful. Right here is where Matsuriza, which is the incredible Japanese drumming group, comes and plays during the day. Very cool entertainment option here. These winding paths take you up to all of this extra shady seating that is just kind of tucked up in the back of the pavilion and is very hard to know about unless you happen to walk this way. So there's typically tables available. It's shady in a little bamboo glade, which is gorgeous. And this is really the back entrance to the quick service restaurant here in Japan, Katsura Grill. Now, points for Japan for having a quick service restaurant. However, unfortunately, I really don't like this one. This is one of my least favorite restaurants in Disney World. There's some indoor seating as well that looks out over the pavilion. But this is gonna be Japanese food, of course. It's quick service. I have never been that happy with anything I've gotten here. If you're gonna grab something here, you might wanna grab the grab and go sushi, as it can't really go wrong there, but the hot plates, I don't know, man. We do have the garden house here. This was a sake bar, but it's currently under construction. But it does say garden house is planting something new. So I'm not really sure what's gonna happen there yet, but it is coming soon. And then we do have these gacha machines here. This is a very big thing in Japan. You basically can put quarters in. I think it's actually pretty expensive here and it's credit card, but you can get these little guys out and it's randomized. And gacha's huge in Japan. There's these gacha stores that are like 4 stories tall and every floor is just filled as far as you can see with gacha. We're gonna head back here into the palace, which looks very regal and everything, but it hides wonders. The first thing you'll see on your left is a little exhibit. The exhibit is called the Jutsu-Con and has for several years had a kawaii culture exhibit. So kawaii is cute culture in Japan. So you can come in here and learn all about kawaii and what kawaii culture is. And see these very beautiful curated exhibits. And I'll tell you, they're blasting the AC in here, which is another great reason to stop by. And after you do that, you can head to Mitsukoshi, which we love. One of the best stores in all of Disney World by far. This is a massive store. So we are here at the very back of the pavilion. It exits at the very front of the pavilion. I'll show you. I'm gonna do a walkthrough with a quick scan of everything that's in here. I'm not gonna spend too much time because it is just super involved. It's got teas, it's got ramen, it's got mochi, it's got all of these important snacks. They've got home goods, they've got chopsticks, they've got bowls and cups, they've got Buddha boards, they've got Zen gardens. You can buy swords and fans, authentic Japanese swords and fans, which is super cool. Lots of cat stuff, which I love. Wallets, you can buy very fine jewelry here, including pearls that they get out of the shell. There's stationery, there are books, and there's a lot of merchandise that has nothing to do with Disney at all because it is Studio Ghibli or Nintendo. So if you've got kiddos or you with interest in some of those things, Hello Kitty, you gotta check out this store because they've got so much stuff. This has nothing to do with Disney at all. And you never know what kind of hard to find here in America souvenirs you might find in Mitsukoshi. We're gonna finish out the first floor of this pavilion. Yes, I had said first floor because there's a lot more. This is a very big pavilion. So we're gonna swing around to the side here, which is home to Takumi Tei. This is one of the most expensive restaurants in Disney World. It's about $250 per person. And it is incredible, authentic Japanese food in an incredible atmosphere with unbelievable service. One of my favorite dining experiences I've ever had is the first time I went to Takumi Tei. Obviously very expensive, very adventurous, and not for everyone, but love that it is an option here. But on the second floor of Mitsukoshi, you'll find the Mitsukoshi restaurants. There's Teppen Edo, which is hibachi. So classic teppanyaki hibachi where they perform. They usually do some little Mickey gags in there. Very popular, but not too different from a benihana or a kabuto. And then shikisai, which I think is one of the best hidden gems in all of Disney World. It is a not too expensive, authentic Japanese restaurant. And we've had the cultural representative Japanese servers who work in this pavilion tell us that when they're craving home, they go to shikisai because it is so authentic. It's pretty easy to get into, walk in or get a reservation. It also has incredible views of World Showcase Lagoon from some of the tables. I just can't recommend shikisai enough. I think it should have a much more established place in the pantheon of incredible EPCOT restaurants. But for me, probably my favorite in the park. Japan on food and beverage. This is another pretty high one. We're going 4.5.
Well, it has a restaurant that you and I share as a favorite.
And almost everybody who has eaten there, I have heard say this is dramatically underrated. Incredible restaurant, shikisai. So that's really pulling this up. Overall, the food at this pavilion is like really well thought out. You can kind of count the food at Mitsukoshi, which Mitsukoshi is going to contribute to our things to do score of 3.5. No attraction here, no show, but Mitsukoshi is like an attraction in and of itself. And then you got the drummers. So a good amount of stuff here to do, even though there's not that much to do, really. And finally on vibe, we're going 3.5 for this one. It is a beautiful pavilion. It has its own castle, some of the best gardens. And you pointed out that there's a lot of hidden tucked away seating here in the shade, which you could actually get a nice break in.
Hidden bathroom upstairs, which is really cool.
The hidden bathroom and the value of also being close to the American Adventure bathrooms.
Amen.
So the closer you are, the more points you get for us.
You literally can't lose.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Morocco Pavilion, originally sponsored by the actual government of Morocco. It opened in 1984, a couple years after World Showcase and EPCOT first opened, and it was operated by the Moroccan government until not that long ago, like 2 or 3 years ago. So traveling through World Showcase, the direction that we are going, the first thing you'll come up to on your right is Oasis Sweets and Sips. This is essentially like a bakery window, but everything they have here is amazing, and they have the frozen mint tea here, which super iconic. Over here, the next stop is a little henna table. You can actually get real henna tattoos put on your hands here, and they do last for a while. Souk Al Maghreb is the big retail location for the entire pavilion. Let's check and see if this is handmade in Morocco. I love the fact that you can have sort of like an authentic caftan next to a costume of Jasmine. And there's one little section of jarred sauces. There's a harissa, a sumac, a shawarma. Over to our right, Tangerine Cafe. This is a quick service spot. It often is used as the festival booth. So instead of having a booth, they have this whole quick service restaurant. In between festivals, they have a default menu. So always check this menu, see if there's anything on it that you want to try, because Tangerine Cafe is one of 2 places you can eat in the Morocco Pavilion, and it's a solid option. Race Against the Sun, Ancient Technique to Modern Competition, is all about racing and the importance of racing in Morocco. I will tell you the air conditioning is pretty great in here, and they do have a couple outlets next to some seating. Inside the Brass Bazaar, there is another snack kiosk. This is where you can purchase your sangria. Well, Aladdin told Jasmine that he could show her the world. I can only show her World Showcase, but in the event that you wanted to meet Jasmine while you were in World Showcase, you could come right in here and meet her, even though she's not here today. Spice Road Table, some might consider this to be the table service restaurant of Morocco, but in reality, it's a lounge. It is a lounge. There are no reservations. There is a walk-up list that you can join on the My Disney Experience app, and all of the offerings, the food offerings, are all small bites, but they're very, very delicious. They also feature a full bar, so if you'd like to come here and sit outside and take in the views of World Showcase, have a beverage, have a couple of small bites, this is an excellent place to do it. It's also the home of my favorite free ice water in EPCOT. You can come here without even eating at the restaurant. And last but not least, on the far right side of the pavilion, when facing it, we have the restrooms. These are smaller than the ones in the American Adventure, but they are newly remodeled and very clean and great.
Morocco, food and beverage, we've gone to 3 here. Spice Road table, we love.
That's right.
It's pretty good. It's kind of the main option here. There are a couple of little snack stands that are good, but Spice Road table is a lounge, kind of a limited menu, but everything on the menu is good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there used to be a table service called Restaurant Marrakesh, which was a favorite of mine and is now gone. But Spice Road table still exists. There's just not a ton of options. Technically, Tangerine Cafe is a festival booth, but it's really not. It's kind of the same menu the whole year.
The whole year in between festivals, exactly. It still has that bread service with you.
And I love Tangerine Cafe.
Me too.
It's like the great skewers, great bread service. Yeah. So we're going 3 here just because it's not a standout, but there are good options.
Yes.
Things to do are low, down at 1.5. Yeah. We almost put this at a 1, but then we remembered the Race Around the Sun exhibit.
Race Around the Sun, which we did explore a little bit.
And exhibits are cool.
That's nice. It's cool in there. There's seating. If you can get one of those benches, there are outlets behind the benches. The only problem is that you have to listen to that race simulator, or the car simulator going through the desert, and it never stops. So even if someone's not using it, the engine is always revving.
But we're going to give Morocco a solid number of points here with a 5 for vibe.
Good, yeah.
This is a beautiful pavilion.
It's a beautiful, immersive.
The most beautiful immersive pavilion by far, no contest. It feels like wandering the streets and no one's back there.
And that's
because there's nothing to do.
And the Prince of Morocco, I believe,
his architect
to open it. So that's the authenticity is unmatched.
Yes. Bonjour. Welcome to France. France is going to be a doozy. Everybody buckle up. Everyone loves this pavilion and there's a lot here, so we're going to be learning a lot about this pavilion as we walk through. First of all, you see this little roped off pathway. There's a reason it is roped off, and that is because for much of the day is where you can meet Princess Belle in her classic blue peasant dress. If you see people lining up and you want to meet Belle, I would recommend hopping in line. Her line does tend to fill up. She's a popular lady, that Belle. But right as we walk to the pavilion, we're going to come across Les Chefs de France. This is one of the table service restaurants here in France, and it is a classic. It has been around for years and years and years. It's a pretty classic French table service restaurant. Like the other pavilions here, it is staffed by cultural representatives, and the cuisine, pretty tasty. A pretty legendary French onion soup, some classic French plates in a very classic Parisian-inspired environment. Across the way, we have Les Vins de Chef de France. This is a stand that has, yes, wine, of course, but it also has the famous Grand Marnier slush, as well as the Grey Goose Citron slush, and these are massive, icy slush drinks. This is the France Festival booth. I know we've been kind of glazing past festival booths. If you want a full in-depth festival booth tour, you can check out our food and wine video. But these happen for the 4 EPCOT festivals year-round, and France tends to be one of the most popular. As we're heading in past the beautiful fountains and gardens of the pavilion in the streets of Paris, and yes, it is Paris. You want to know how I know? Eiffel Tower. You want to know who else I know? Princess Aurora. But you can meet Princess Aurora at that gazebo right over there. As you can see, pretty large pavilion, and we can't even see, this is maybe a third of it that we're looking at, and there's so much pavilion here. So we'll start with this main sort of stretch. This is a really unique theater because this is Palais du Cinema, and it has, for most of the day, Beauty and the Beast sing-along. But in the morning and evening, it transitions to be the show Impressions de France. Impressions de France is an incredibly beautiful show, showcasing some of the wonders of France from Paris to the rural areas. This is also where my favorite exhibit in all of World Showcase is tucked, which is Tales as Old as Time, French storytelling on stage and screen, and has actual costumes and props from movies and plays that are based on French literature. Going to the right here first, we have a shop, Les Vins de France. This is sort of a wine cave. They do have a full wine cave where you can shop for French wine. And you want to know something? I love French wine. This is a less known location for Drink Around the World because you can try a lot of French wines. So we came through the store, but we came from over there. This is sort of a little turn alleyway. I'm gonna hit these spots in a second, but first we're gonna pop into an extremely popular spot, L'All Boulangerie Patisserie. This is a French bakery with tons of savory and sweet pastries and sandwiches, and you can get wine back here and coffee, and the pastries are incredible. They're French style and they're very, very tasty. The line, this is about as short as it gets. Often it runs out of this and all the way through the room. So expect a bit of a long wait for this one. There is no mobile order and it's pretty difficult to find a table. But L'All is pretty famous for good reason. And you can get a baguette for like $3, half baguette. We get comments a lot that it actually should be Les All because H is a vowel in French, but that's actually not true in this case. It is an exception to that rule. It is pronounced L'All. I just confirmed that even with a French cast member. So L'All. But as we continue away from L'All, back towards that center of the pavilion, we're gonna pass L'Artisan des Glaces. L'Artisan des Glaces is an ice cream shop, and this is probably the best ice cream shop in Disney World. I said probably, it is. It's very good ice cream. And they do some really unique stuff. There's sorbets as well as macaron ice cream sandwiches and a brioche ice cream sandwich where they press ice cream into a hot brioche. That should be illegal. That's so good. We also have Monsieur Paul. As you can tell, a lot of dining here in France. Monsieur Paul is a table service restaurant, a signature, extremely expensive table service restaurant. If I remember right, I believe pricing at this spot, yes, $195 a head here. And it serves the gastronomic meal of the French, as defined by the UNESCO list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. It was very, very good. It's a long meal, but an incredible experience. Very luxury, could be a bit prohibitively fancy for some people, but it is an option if you like a little bit of a fancy sort of capstone dining experience. But if you walk over here, one, we have a Guerlain store, so you can get your own fragrances, as well as I believe they have lipsticks, and you can get the bottles engraved for free when you do buy. Yes, they have the full makeup counters. You can get free engravings when you do buy stuff, so you can get these personalized for you. And across the way we have Plume Palette, which is a combo of things, but you will find some Disney-fied France merch, as well as like little Eiffel Tower souvenirs. But you can also find some designer fragrances, Dior, as well as some designer purses and bags. But wait, there's more. We've got that Aurora gazebo right here. More beautiful French gardens with a butterfly flying over. How picturesque was that? Recently, within the past 5 years, the France Pavilion did get an expansion. So if you head under this archway that says Ratatouille, I think you might have a little guess of what you'll find. Now, this did add some new bathrooms to the France Pavilion back here. It also added new dining, and now, in addition to the show, the France Pavilion has a true ride. If you're looking for Remy merch, you might want to glance over here, where there is a solid amount. And then if you're looking for crepes, which I know you are, here in the France Pavilion, you can head to one of these two spots. So the table service is La Crêperie de Paris. This is a cheaper, easier to get into table service that serves a variety of crepes. I like this spot because it isn't super expensive, and the crepes are pretty good, as well as the galettes. I really like their soups usually. And they have this prefix, which is only $40. And you get a soup, a salad, a galette, and a crepe. And on top of that, you can get a glass of hard cider. That's alcohol included in that prefix, which is wild. If you want crepes, but you don't want to sit down for them, they do have crepes at Importer, where they do have savory galettes as well as sweet crepes, some with ice cream. So that's a great spot. You can get them on a plate and just eat them around the pavilion too. More likely than not, if you're walking back this far into the pavilion, you are headed to Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. This is one of the newest rides in EPCOT, and it is a dark ride that is trackless, where you shrink down and ride inside of a rat to visit not only Gusteau's restaurant from the film, but also Remy's restaurant. And of course, Chef Skinner is there, which causes some problems, but you'll see all the beloved characters from the film. There are savory smells in the kitchen, citrus smells in the fridge, and your mouth size, so you get to feel really small. As you can see from the line, very popular ride. It's about an 80-minute wait right now. And the single rider line is poking out of the building. France Pavilion, that's pretty much everything. A lot going on here. On top of the fact that it's got a ton of shopping, a ton of dining, a ride, as well as a show, and an acrobat, and multiple character meet and greets, this pavilion is really doing a lot. Yes. Food and beverage, 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
This is the one that we compare all of their food and beverage to. When we've had the higher ratings on this list, like Italy, we were like, well, it's good, but it's not France, you know, so it can't be 5. 'cause
Right.
France will be 5. There are so many options for food here. You saw me go through all of them. They range everywhere from very cheap to very expensive. All of it is high quality. There's incredible desserts, incredible savory. There's something for everybody when it comes to like French food. It just does it better than other pavilions. The drinks are great too. It's just a good pavilion for
From
food.
a baguette at Les Halles for like $3, full-size baguette, to steak at Monsieur Paul.
Yep, literally, it's so much.
And everything in between.
Things to do similarly, just on sheer volume, 5 out of 5. One of the most popular rides in Disney World with Remy. Not 1, but 2 incredible shows in the Palais de Cinema. You've got the acrobats now who are back performing. You can meet Belle and Aurora. There's just more to do here than anywhere else. And there's a ton of shopping. Like, there's so much to do in France. And then finally on vibe, 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful pavilion. It gets very crowded, which is what knocks it down a bit, is that crowd flow in this pavilion is still not great. It is, however, beautifully designed. You can see the Eiffel Tower, and there's a whole new extension to explore that has fun Ratatouille theming. So
And a creperie.
And a creperie. Some more dining. They added more dining.
We've made it to the UK Pavilion, and there's a rock band playing over there. But we're not going to partake in that at the moment. Over here on the right is a very popular location in World Showcase. It's called the Yorkshire County Fish Shop. It's a quick service location where you can stand in line. No mobile order is offered, and order your fish and chips here, get them and take them outside in their seating area to enjoy. Over on the right, Rose and Crown, another iconic location. This is a table service restaurant and pub. That means bar. That means you can go inside here and you can saddle up to the bar. And over in the Rose and Crown dining room, you can actually sit down. It's a table service restaurant and you can order your fish and chips in here. This is the Sportsman's Shop. The Crown and Crest. It's the Toy Soldier. Lords and ladies. The Queen's Table. The Tea Caddy is a store dedicated completely to tea, and it's brought to you by Twinings, iconic UK brand of wonderful tea. And the Twinings Tea Garden. This is all vibe. You come back here and walk these gardens. There's not always a rock band playing in the background, but when there is, it even enhances the experience further. And when you're not listening to amazing rock music out of this gazebo, you can be walking the maze, the shrub maze that goes around it. How cool is that? Sometimes I like to just walk the maze and collect my thoughts and think about life and remember that I am obsessed with EPCOT. Over here is a spot where you can meet Winnie the Pooh in Christopher Robin's bedroom. It is so cool in there. Command Performance is a cover band that plays all covers of British rock, and they're really, really good. They've been here for a few years now, and I think they get better every year. And of course, no visit to the UK would be complete without taking a picture inside a red telephone booth. They've got 2 right here.
Food and beverage, despite not having a ton of variety, is going to be a 4.5 here. That's on sheer popularity.
Yeah.
Because this spot really only has Rose and Crown in pub form, dining room form, and beer cart form.
And people like their fish and their
fish and chips next door at Yorkshire.
Yes.
But all of these things are incredibly highly recommended, very popular eats. Like the fish and chips quick service, Rose and Crown dining room, the pub, everybody loves that bar. The British beer is good in general at the UK beer cart. Like it's just, you can't go wrong here. Things to do here, gonna be down at a 2. Often has live music. You can
caught the live band.
Couple character meet and greets.
Alice,
sometimes Alice, sometimes
Winnie
Mary.
the Pooh.
You can see Mary, you can see Winnie the Pooh, and friends. So a good number of character meet and greets here. But no, there's nothing attraction-wise here. And also, they had announced a Mary Poppins attraction that has been tabled, which is sad. And then atmosphere, we're gonna go 4 here. Obviously, this is a beautiful pavilion.
Yep.
There's a lot of details to look at. Oh, the shopping in UK is also good. This finding shop and stuff.
Very good.
This is
so many shops.
Yeah,
It's
beautiful
an embarrassment.
pavilion.
It's a mall.
It is a mall. Yeah, it's like a mall.
Yeah.
Beautiful pavilion, lots to look at here. The stores are all themed to different eras of British architecture, which is really cool. I have a friend from Canada, and she does say A lot. Mal, I'm talking to you. Right here, first thing in the Canada Pavilion, we do have the Mill Stage at l'Estrade du Moulin. That means Mill Stage in French. This is where you'll find a lot of live entertainment, typically in the evenings, usually pretty good bands. So if you walk by and you see one going, grab a seat. We do have a little merchandise cart out here that does have a combination of Disney-fied Canada merch, as well as some regular Canada merchandise too, plus puffins. And can you really go wrong? Not a lot of dining going on in Canada, but pretty good festival booths that a lot of people like right there. We do have the Disney Vacation Club Center, so if you want to learn about Disney's timeshare program, you can in Canada, strangely. And then we do have the maple popcorn cart. Now, not a lot going on the menu here. One of the things they do have is maple popcorn. This is one of Disney's only specialty popcorn flavors, and it is so good. It is sweet, but not too sweet, and just so mapley. Definitely recommend getting maple popcorn. You can get it in your souvenir popcorn buckets, and you can get it as a refill for only $2.79. We're gonna head this way along the path because this is gonna give us a good sense of the vibe. So for one, another beautiful garden. This one is up there for me. Not quite as high as Japan, but this is the Victoria Gardens, inspired by the spectacular Bouchard Gardens of British Columbia. I don't know, you guys have to tell me if I say that right. I'm not good at pronouncing Canadian words because a lot of them are pronounced the same as English words, and a lot of them are pronounced the same as French words. And I speak French and I speak English, and so I have a lot of issue pronouncing from Canadian words. I always make the wrong choice. I think that scene with the mountain in the background is one of the prettiest in World Showcase. And coming up on the side of the castle, we have Le Cellier Steakhouse. This is a signature restaurant. It is a much loved signature restaurant, considered one of the most romantic and intimate restaurants in Disney World. Over there, that's the exit to the show. There's a show. We're gonna walk along this path, which is one of my favorite paths to take, and it's kind of off the side here, so it's easy to miss, but it's so beautiful because it goes past this like little river, and then even better, well, we'll get there, but there's a waterfall. And I love that this pavilion sort of like nods to the natural splendor of Canada, because come on, that's pretty cool, right? Also, if you stand close to it, you get misted, which is nice. And there's barrels of maple syrup. Now back here is Canada Far and Wide. This is another of those Circle Vision shows, so 360 screen around you. Canada Far and Wide is like a recently updated show, so they kind of newly put a new show in here. It's a very cool exploration of Canada, which is a beautiful country. And fun fact, this is one of my fiance's favorite thing to do in Disney World. He loves this little movie, and he comes to see it when I want to ride Frozen sometimes, instead of riding Frozen with me. That's true. We will have already seen it during the day too, and he still will be like, well, you have fun seeing Anna and Elsa. I'm gonna go look at some ski slopes. Fair enough, my friend. Also, for fans of Schitt's Creek, Canada Far and Wide is narrated by Catherine O'Hara and Eugene Levy. So, if you like those two, you might recognize their voices. Now we find ourselves up top in the Canada Pavilion. This is if you go up the stairs. A lot of stairs in this pavilion. There are some kind of hidden, tucked away restrooms up here, but it is, I think, just a family restroom. And there's actually a full Disney Vacation Club demo center up here, the Chateau des Voyages. So again, if you're considering Disney's timeshare program, but for your standard everyday guest who's not considering a timeshare program, there's just not too much going on up top in the Canada Pavilion. Now my preferred vantage point is at the bottom of the waterfall, but great spot for pictures from up here because you got the top of the falls and you kind of can look down into the little pseudo valley. This is just a fun pavilion because it's more like natural area focused than the others. Canada does have a full store too, and if you're drinking around the world, you might think that the Ottawa Apple or the beer at the popcorn cart are the only options to drink, but you would be remiss because Trading Post Refreshments looks like it's probably just a merchandise store, but it is in fact a dark but little walk-up bar with some wine and some beer. All, of course, Canadian wines and beers. We've got chips and imported maple syrups and things, and then lots of Canada merchandise, whether it is actually from Canada or Disneyfied Canada. But they do even have something really cool. They have actually Native American made jewelry and things, where that purchase goes back to those Native American owned businesses. And they have hockey merch. And if I know anything about Canadians, it's that the hockey thing is not exaggeration. I like that a lot. But I live in Florida, and it's October, and it's 82 degrees. Also, just to point out, of course, Native Americans are a massive part of the heritage of Canada, and so they are nodded to here with these totem poles. Now, both this totem pole and that one are actually for real, hand carved by an actual Native American artist, specifically hand carved by, I'm gonna do my best here, Tsimshian artist David Boxley, who carved these, and you can learn about the stories they're telling here. Pretty darn neat. On food and beverage, we're going with a 3 here. Right down the middle, not a lot of food and beverage here. There's a small bar in the shop, there's the maple popcorn, which is famous, and there's Le Cellier, which is a signature that is wonderful.
We need a quick service restaurant.
We do.
Le Cellier was originally a cafeteria style quick service restaurant.
For things to do, it's gonna be a 2. There's really only one shop here. You can see there is a show, Canada Far and Wide. It is good. So that's what's bringing it up. But otherwise, there's nothing in Canada. And then on vibe, we are gonna go 3.5 here. Even though this pavilion doesn't have a lot going for it and has a lot of stairs, it's gorgeous. Beautiful gardens, beautiful waterfall, wonderful blend of like natural beauty and the beauty of Canadian like architecture with the hotel. This is also the only pavilion that really focuses on natural scenic beauty, where it has like the mountain and the waterfall, and I think that's a great part of the World Showcase.
So pretty.
Yeah, so it's gonna be pretty high just on beauty for us with the 3.5, but a lot of stairs. It's a little bit difficult to navigate from an accessibility standpoint, and it is a little devoid of activity.
Yes. You can get up there. It is just a long and winding road.
All right, we've done math. Are you proud of us? We have our final ranking.
Quincy did math. Let's be real.
Wait, he helped. He got the calculator out.
Oh, true.
In last place is going to be the China Pavilion with 8 points, followed by Canada with just 8.5 points. Then we're gonna have Italy and Germany both at 9 points, but we are making this list and we decided to push Italy a little higher than Germany. So that's gonna be above Germany. Morocco is gonna come in with 9.5, America with 10.5 points, and then our top 5, we have the UK Pavilion in 5th for 10.5. We have Norway and Japan tied with 11.5, but we're gonna put Norway in 4th and Japan in 3rd, because again, we're judging those as just
our feelings.
Our feelings. And that's our feelings.
In this case, feelings are facts.
Yeah.
For once in my life.
Yeah. And our final 2, we have Mexico and France. And our runner-up is Mexico with 12 points, leaving France in the lead with 14.5 points, only 0.5 off from a perfect rating. It's the best pavilion. What can we say? Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're still here, like this video and drop this secret code in the comments so we know you made it all the way. Plus, don't forget to subscribe. We upload tips, games, info, and more from Disney World and beyond all week. Why? Because we're serious about fun. See you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.